The most effective way to get your kids started with golf is Snag.
This is Golf Smarter.
Welcome to the Golf Smarter podcast, John.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Great to be here. You know, frequently I'll get listeners writing to me asking, I want to get my kids started in golf. What shall I do? It's like, why are you asking me? But what I like to say is start them on putting. Because if they can master that, and it's the easiest thing not only to conceptualize, it's like there you put a ball in front of the hole or you put there and you could just put it in there. If you get them to fall in love with putting and they become good at it, everything else gets easy.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
It's the easy thing. It's because hitting a golf ball is so hard, you don't want to do that to a little kid. You've got a better idea on how to get kids started with golf.
Yes, we do. We have a lot of fun with it. And the putting idea is a great thing, but you've got to go to where the putting holes exist, which
That's
typically are golf courses. Okay, and families live in neighborhoods, and neighborhoods have parks, right? And so Snag is designed to be entirely above ground. So with our equipment, okay, the ball is a Velcro-based ball. When it hits, it sticks. Same reward that you had before, and a child can do this. And so we do have a putter that we actually call a roller to start with, because putting is a foreign word to a child. It's like asking a child to work on a swing plane. Chances are their arms are going out and they're going to start zooming around.
Well, asking an adult to work on a swing plane is also a difficult concept.
Yeah. So with this, we have all sorts of tools and fun things that are very kid-centric. Starting new at golf is what SNAG stands for, S-N-A-G.
Oh, okay. Here, let me take that and show that. Hold this up in front of the other camera. So you can see this is just a Velcro here, and the ball sticks clearly right to it. A little flag on top. So we have a target.
We call that our flag sticky.
This is a flag sticky thingy.
Yep.
Okay.
And so, we only have two clubs in Snag.
Okay.
One that we call a roller. Okay. And a roller is for rolling balls. And so as such, when you have a roller, okay, you're going to roll the ball, and the child learns that right from an early age. Later in life, of course, we're going to teach putting. Okay, but to begin with, for the concept, is that this is the club you use to roll the ball.
How easy is that? And it could be right or left-handed.
Right or left-handed.
Sorry,
okay.
I'll hit you in the head.
So the other club that we have is called the launcher to start with. Okay, it actually is an 8-iron face. Okay, so that's the loft that it is. You can see that it's oversized. Okay.
Yeah, oversized is an understatement.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. A little cavity back activity here.
Oh, absolutely. Cavity back is very important. And then also the fact that this has a D weight. A good friend of mine is a woman named Jan Stevenson, okay, ex-LPGA superstar. And she was hitting a Snag club for the first time ever. And she turns to me and she says, John, this may be a silly question, but does this club have a D weight? And I said, well, that one's a D1. And she goes, oh, my God, all my clubs are D1s. This feels good. Give me another ball, right?
So I'm sorry for being stupid. What's a D weight?
A D weight is the weight of the club to shaft and how it's balanced. So it's a balanced club.
Look at that.
And
okay.
so if you are a balanced club, then it swings appropriately. And some people like a little heavier on one end and lighter on the other end. And so there's these D weights. Our clubs have D weights just like real clubs. Okay. The next thing that we did is that we discovered through the PGA and mini pros that they actually feel that the grip is an important thing in golf.
Sure.
Okay. They go on ad nauseum about it, as well they should. Okay. But a kid doesn't have time for all that.
Right.
So we've taken it down to a 10-second lesson that they can handle themselves. Right. And it works as simple as this. You take the club and you put your left thumb on yellow. You connect your hands, put your right thumb on red.
Now it's like we're playing Twister.
And we have a perfect grip. When a child looks down in the baseball grip that so many of them use,
Sure.
I can
Just
say, Johnny, is that left on yellow, right on red? Oh, yeah, I got it. And immediately they have it, and they can self-correct, and it took me 10 seconds to teach it. Wow. Try it. Hold it in your right hand. Put left on yellow.
Left on yellow.
Right on red.
Nope, left on yellow, right on red. And look at that. I have one of the better grips that I've had all week. That's brilliant.
Just that easy. The
Yeah.
entire program of SNAG is taught around kids speak and learning how the kids communicate, how they can understand. It was all developed in a partnership between a PGA touring pro that actually played on the tour. He married a dean of education. And everything he said about golf, she says, prove it, show it, demonstrate it. And so a dean of education at a university helped develop all the curriculum to fit kids, not adults. Although with SNAG, we teach kids from 5 to 95. If you've never golfed before, then you are starting new at golf.
Absolutely.
And if I teach you this way to start, you'll have success, understanding, and you'll be a lot more successful and probably stay in the game versus all the frustration of starting out with metal clubs and a regular ball. Our goal of our company is a funny goal. Not a lot of companies have this goal. Our goal is to get rid of all of our customers. And if we do that, we're very successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we're turning all of our people into regular, avid golfers who stay in the game, right? So that's really where we're at. To do this, we have to start out with large numbers. And through extensive research, we discovered that there's a lot of kids that are in schools, right?
You would think so.
And
You
the
would hope
second
so.
place that we found that there were a lot of kids who are in parks, right? And so if we take golf to those two places, that's where the kids are, right? They aren't at the golf courses yet, okay? They're in school and they're in their neighborhood parks. So with SNAG and its tennis ball, I can tee it up in the gymnasium, right? You can't tee a Titleist up in a gymnasium. Fun, but inherently dangerous, right? So as such, teachers, PE teachers, can now teach golf as a PE unit for the first time ever.
Wow.
What that means is, do I have to golf today? Yes, it's PE. I have no choice. I'm a boy, I'm a girl. You're both golfing.
Yep.
Everybody. I'm good at it. I like it. I discover this through PE. Okay. Where do I go next? Well, how did
Right.
soccer become the world champions when it's not even indigenous to our sport here?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not part of the United States culture.
Right, exactly.
Yet we're the world champions because they have a system called easy as 1, 2, 3. Put it in PE to introduce it. Put it in little leagues and adapt it to small or large to make it easy and let them play. Emphasis on play.
Absolutely.
Okay? Because that's what kids do best. And then be sure to give them snacks. Can't leave that part out, right?
Gotta be hydrated.
Yes. And after that, they matriculate to number 3. T-ball is not baseball. There's no pitcher for crying out loud.
Right.
Every 5-year-old who's playing it, ask them if they're a baseball player. By golly, they're baseball players.
Right. So
okay?
they experience with this, they're golfers.
Tiny fields, post for a plate, all these types of things, and they move up with skills and passion. And someday, these T-ballers become major league ball players.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And that's how it's done. We in golf have to change the paradigm of how we teach in order to grab the masses. And we find the masses are in school. So if we hook these kids early, then we can move on. There's a gentleman in the golf industry that a lot of people know named Jack Nicklaus.
I've heard of them.
Okay. Jack Nicklaus said, in today's ESPN world, if we don't introduce golf to children 8, 9, and 10 years old, they choose another sport and we will never get them to golf. He can back this up with a fact. Jack Nicklaus happens to have 22 grandchildren. Only 2 play golf.
Wow.
Yes. That's very a shocking stat for most people to think that, of course, Jack Nicklaus, one of the greatest in the games ever, all of his grandchildren must, play golf. No, they play softball, they swim, they play volleyball. They're great soccer players. A couple of them are picking up lacrosse, and Jack goes to their games. Right? That's
Yeah.
what we do.
He's still a proud grandpa.
Okay, absolutely. And so it tells you that something's happening in our world here, that these kids are hooking up with sports and they fall in love with them and they play them. All I'm asking is that we need to put golf in their way and let them fall in love with this too. The moms and dads will come out and support. They'll coach. Tommy Lasorda does not coach T-ball. Okay? Moms and dads do with great big hearts. And so that's the difference of what SNAG can do today to change the paradigm on how to bring golf and
How
grow
was this
the game.
business developed? Where did it come from?
Came from a gentleman named Terry Anton. Terry Anton, whose nickname is the Snag Daddy. Okay? It developed Snag as a way to grow the game and get more kids involved with it. And then it grew and grew as it materialized. And we are now in 42 countries.
Wow.
Okay? We are huge in Korea and Japan. Just huge. All the schools are teaching it. The universities are teaching it to the teachers who are going to become teachers when they graduate. And if you haven't noticed, the LPGA Tour is loaded with Asian very good players,
Sure,
right?
sure.
That's because these kids are learning to play golf early. I talked to a bunch of PGA women from Japan, and they all just giggled and laughed when they saw the Snag. Snag's been there over 10 years. And they say, snagu, snagu, I snag, right? They all start out at Snag and then matriculate
that's
on.
great.
Okay.
So how long has Snag been around?
Oh, gosh, I bet it's 12, 13 years now.
Really?
Right? So it's been around for a long time. It has got a lot of traction overseas in Europe and in Asia, and it's getting more and more traction here.
Oh, good.
And we're changing our paradigm a little bit on how we do it. The golf pros see Snag as in a sense a toy because it reeks of toydom.
Sure,
right?
sure.
And I don't blame them at all.
Just the colors in itself.
And it was designed and based upon that on purpose, right?
Sure.
To be appealing that way. But we need to not necessarily only think of it as golf, but we need to think of it as sport. It is a life sport.
Yeah.
Okay. Soccer moms watch soccer, and it's fabulous. Golf moms golf with their kids, right? And then as they grow and they all matriculate to a golf course, they golf as families. And it is a life sport. And that is so important to keeping families bound together. So we feel that it's better for us to teach it at the off-campus, off-golf course start first and work our way to and deliver golfers to the PGA pros.
Is your primary target consumer or target audience, would that be curriculum in schools?
Yeah, we have a second website called snagpros.com.
Okay.
And for us, pros are threefold. One, they are school pros. Two, park pros. Three, golf pros. And so those are our three markets that we feel that Snag needs to get into to grow. As we develop those markets and more kids play Snag, at that point in time, the retail market will grow. We currently do have a retail market. It's online.
Okay.
But
So
it
that's my
isn't
next
our
question.
point of emphasis, right? Just like every Little League dad buys a bat and ball for their child as they
Sure,
get.
of course.
We have a really fun little pack for families to go to the park themselves.
Oh, great.
and
That's what I was
hit
going
the
to ask
balls.
about. What's your price point for someone to buy it as a gift?
$109 will get you two clubs, balls, a case, a flag sticky, and a launcher. You're playing golf just like that, and everybody can play.
Fabulous. Fabulous. So the website is snaggolf.com.
Correct?
And also
Snagpros.com.
for teachers of any type.
Correct.
Who want to incorporate this, and you've developed an entire curriculum around
Entire curriculum. It's all educational based. It's approved educationally. It meets the NASP standards, which is one of the highest levels they are. And it was an award-winning program from the PE Association itself.
Oh, congratulations. This is awesome. I wish you a lot of luck, that you're around for another 12 times 12 times 12 years. And I think that you're really onto something very important.
Thank you so much. We appreciate being here.
Click on the link below to subscribe to our free weekly interviews on the Golf Smarter podcast at golfsmarter.com.